Hey guys, Scott here, and today I just want to make a quick video about Wesker. As I'm sure you're aware, if you've been watching me stream, pretty much all I've been doing since Wesker came out is just playing Wesker. I don't even want to play Survivor anymore. I just want to play Wesker. In my opinion, Wesker is the most fun killer that they've ever made, and I think he's the most well-designed killer overall. Now, obviously, he still has a couple of little bugs and issues and things like that. There's like the whole thing when you charge someone off a ledge, you just sort of like drop them. Sometimes if there's uneven terrain, you'll get the damaging hit, but there's no animation. So there's still a little bit of jank to work out, and hopefully they will fix those few remaining issues. But for the most part, the actual core design of the killer, I think, is the most successful they've ever been. And it's because it strikes the perfect balance of being fun, but still effective. And also, I find Wesker very fun to go against as well. Although I will say there is one issue that does need addressing with Wesker, and that is the fact that if a Wesker wants to tunnel somebody really bad and they're infected, they can't really do anything to get their infection to go down, and then they're hindered, and then they're in this cycle where they can't really get away from the Wesker, and they're kind of screwed. So I think there should be some adjustment to that, like when you're hooked, it resets a lot of your infection, or infection doesn't go up in a chase, or I don't know, just something. But other than that, there's really not too many core issues with Wesker, where like so many killers they make have the same issue of really offering only one play style. Like, let's look at, Artist or Dredge, or like any of the recent killers they add. They all sort of play loops the same way. They all just do sort of the same thing. With Artist, you put your crow in one section of the loop, and then their options are run away to the next loop or get hit. And that's like, it seems to be the trend for a lot of their killers to have some sort of anti-loop ability like that. But it's not the anti-loop, it's the problem. It's that it plays out the exact same way every single time. Every loop, I'm going to play exactly the same with the Artist because there's only one particular way to run it. However, with a killer like Wesker, there are so many interesting ways to address looping and address like how to approach certain tiles that, like, to this day, like, still playing him every single day, I'm still learning new stuff I can do at certain tiles. Like, I'll try something once and be like, oh, holy shit, I can get a hit at this tile. I had no idea. If you round this corner perfectly at the same time, you're actually able to do that. If they ever make a killer that takes me more than 2 minutes to learn, I usually like them. And Wesker seems to be not really hard to play, but hard to master, which again is a sign of a well-designed killer. His power is pretty straightforward. You hit a guy, hit him in a wall, you take damage. They take damage. But there's so many little like nuances to it between holding the power for a certain amount of time after your first charge to wait for a juke, and then there's add-ons that change that. There's certain tiles that you can do certain very quick motions. You can flick your charge to throw a survivor in a particular direction. There's just so many little things that I'm still learning. And I feel like I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of every tile you can actually use this power on, because you really have to go out of your way to try dumb shit in order to see if it's going to work. And the thing is, a lot of the time it ends up working with Wesker. And that what feels so rewarding. Also, he's just fun as shit. It's just fun throwing survivors places. Even if I don't get a damaging hit, I run the Chalice add-on and the Lion Medallion add-on just so I can yeet people across the map. I once charged someone across the entirety of Midwich. They were like midway, so I charged, and then my second charge, just at the tail end of the charge, hit them midway in Midwich. Then I charged them the 3/4 way, and then I threw them the last 1/4 of the way. I literally tossed them across. I went the entirety of Midwich. It was the funniest thing. At that point, I'm having so much fun, I didn't even care about winning. But the thing is, Wesker is still really good, too. And I usually win my matches with Wesker, and I don't even have to, play sweaty or anything. He's just, the slowdown of his power is so strong that survivors have to respect it. And in doing so, the game slows down because, well, if you don't cure that, you're not looping a Wesker when you're hindered by 7% or something. It's massive. So his power is just, in my opinion, perfectly balanced between very strong but fair and entertaining. It's just very funny. Even a survivor, as a survivor, it's funny just getting flung across the map. Hitboxes, I feel like they can maybe nerf it by 5 centimeters now, and we'll be in a perfect spot, because it's pretty rare, but every once in a while I'll get a hit where I'm like, I think they were behind the wall. I shouldn't have gotten that. And I don't really feel like I'm getting robbed ever anymore. So if they wanted to, they could maybe adjust that backwards a little tiny bit. But I would say the vast majority of the time the hits seem pretty fair, which is good. And even his add-on design, his add-ons are all pretty well balanced. He doesn't have any super broken ones. his iridescent, where like, everybody starts infected, is extremely strong, but it's not like, Alchemist Ring or Compound 33 or like Old Nurse Range. Like, it's not like that strong. It's just like, damn, that's a really good add-on. And the thing is, none of his add-ons are really worthless either. They're all just like well-designed, decent effects that you can really benefit from depending on the build that you're currently playing. There's different play styles, like with the whole reveal aura when you're doing the spray build, and then you have stealth with that. Like, there's just a whole bunch of stuff you can do with the killer. And he supports a whole bunch of different types of builds as well. You can go with the whole War of Attrition style, where you have a bunch of slowdown, and then you basically have people run out of infection by slowing the game down enough. Granted, that's a pretty boring playstyle to go against. I'm not a huge fan of that. But you can do that. You can have just Kool-Aid Man Wesker with Spirit Fury Enduring, where you just barrel through everything and you're literally just charging through shit, and it's absolutely hilarious. You can do Stealth Wesker again, like with those add-ons. There's Giant Terradius Wesker. Like, there's just so many things you can do with him, and I have never played a killer and had him remain exactly as fun like throughout. Like, I love Demogorgon, but even after a month, I was like, okay, I'm still having fun, but I get it. He's pretty simple to play. I know what to do now. But Wesker, he's just, every single game is as fun as the last. The only time it's not is if you get like a map like Larry's or something. But I mean, that's gonna suck for any killer with a fun power. If you're playing Billy or Huntress or Leatherface or just any killer with a power that you have to aim somewhere, any indoor map is gonna suck. So I guess that's not really a Wesker specific thing, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about Wesker because I've been enjoying him immensely. I'm sure if you've noticed, all of my gameplay on the channel for the past month has just been Wesker. I don't want to play anyone else. But I really, really think they absolutely nailed it. They just need to fix a couple of bugs, address a couple of issues that are problematic, like the whole tunneling with infection thing. And I think he will be the most well-designed killer that they've ever done. Curious to hear if you guys agree. I know a lot of people are sick of going against Wesker, but I think they're sick of going against Wesker not because he's bullshit, but because that's all they're seeing. Like, Wesker pick rate is like 20%, and it's because they made him so damn fun. So that is honestly just a sign of success, I think. And it's a shame that people are getting tired of going against them, but I get it, because, if you go against something enough, it doesn't matter how fun it is, you're going to get bored of it. That's it. Yeah, Wesker, by far, most fun killer they've ever made. Yeah, see you next time.